Let us start with power and authority. Okay. Yesterday we have done Protestant ethics, Weber's methodology, okay, social action. So now we will start with power and authority. We have also done ideal type and all. Yeah, we have done all this. So basically, what is power? Okay, power is it is an ability of an individual or a group to fulfill its desire or implement its decisions and ideas. Okay, so basically, it involves the ability to influence or to control the behavior of others, even against their will. This is important. Okay. For Weber, power is an aspect of social relationship. It refers to the possibility of imposing one's will upon the behavior of another person. Okay. It is not restricted to a battlefield or to politics. As per Weber, it is to be observed in the marketplace, on the lecture platform, at a social gathering, in sports, scientific discussions, and even through charity. For example, giving alms or daan to a beggar is a subtle way of exercising your superior economic power. Okay, so power is an aspect of social interaction. In social interaction, it is possibility of imposing one's one's will on others person, and it varies from situation to situation. Okay, so any discussion on power leads us to think about its legitimacy. Okay, its legitimacy, according to Weber, constitutes the core point of authority. Okay, so let us see what is authority. So, authority is that form of power which is considered just and rightful by those on whom it is being exercised. Okay, so power authority is legitimate form of power. Okay, power is ability to control another person. Authority is the legitimized form of power. Means that the master has a right to command and can expect to be obeyed. For example, power of bureaucrats. It is legitimized by the people. Okay. And in traditional society, power of higher caste. So for a system of authority to exist, some elements must be present. What are those elements? First, an individual ruler or master or a group of rulers or masters. Second is individual or group that is ruled. Will of the ruler to influence the conduct of ruled, which may be expressed through commands. Next is evidence of the influence of rulers in terms of compliance or obedience shown by ruled. Okay. Then direct or indirect evidence which shows that ruled have internalized and accepted the fact that the ruler's command must be obeyed. Okay. Authority implies a reciprocal relationship between the rulers and ruled. Okay. So rulers believe that they have legitimate right to exercise their authority. Okay. On the other hand, ruled accepted that the power and they comply with it. So they are reinforcing its legitimacy, right? So according to Weber, there are three systems of legitimization. Okay, which each with its corresponding norms, which justify the power to command. Okay, it is these system of legitimization which are designated as the following types of authority, which are those authorities: traditional, charismatic, rational, या rational legal. Okay. So first and foremost, we will see the traditional authority. So this is the system of legitimization flows from the traditional action. Okay. It is based on customary law, sanctity of ancient tradition, and based on a belief that a certain authority is to be respected because it has existed since the long time or since the time immemorial. Okay. In traditional authority, rulers enjoyed personal authority by virtue of their inherited status. Okay. Their commands are in accordance with the customs and they also possess the right to extract compliance from the ruled. So traditional authority derives its legitimacy from the long-standing traditions which enable some to command and compel others to obey. It is hereditary authority, okay, and it does not require written rules. The master exercise their authority with the help of loyal relatives and friends. So Weber considered this kind of authority as irrational. Okay. Now, there are two types of traditional authority. One is patriarchalism, and another one is patrimonialism. So patriarchalism is the simplest type, which is found in every small societies like hordes, bands, or in the large households. Okay. It is here the master of the households obtains position by inheritance. No formal organized administration. Authority is exercised as joint right. Therefore, power of the master depends on consent. No formally enacted rules which should be compliance by people. They voluntarily accept commands as they are in a they are in live with the tradition and obedience is personal. Okay, and in patrimonialism, it is advanced type which is found in monarchies. Okay, uh, इसका example is Sultan of Turkey. That officers are required by customs. There is an administrative staff, but consists of hierarchy of inherited officers also. Loyalty is loyalty is personal, consists of favorite recruited on the basis of merit, personal likeness of ruler. No formal system of rewards. Administrative don't differentiate between personal and official affairs. No clearly defined limits of authority. So lots of discretionary power available. Limits are created by traditions, customs. Those limits are applicable only. So patrimonialism is absolute authority, no accountability, lots of arbitration, minimal task specialization, and it tend to resist bureaucratization. Okay. Now we will see charismatic authority. So charisma, we have, okay, let us study. Charisma means an extraordinary quality, okay, possessed by some individuals like Gandhi, Lenin, Hitler, okay. This gives such people unique powers to capture the fancy and the devotion of ordinary people. So charismatic authority is based on extraordinary devotion to an individual and to the way of life preached by this person. Okay. Charismatic leader proves his or her power through miracles, military and other victories or dramatic prosperity of disciples. As long as the charismatic leader continue to prove their miraculous power in the eye of their disciples, their authorities stays intact. Okay. It is purely the result of special qualities of the leader who governs or rules in his personal capacity. Okay. And charismatic authority is not organized, therefore, no paid staff or administrative setup. So, based on the personal qualities of an individual, the problem of succession arises with the death or the disappearance of the leader. So, person who succeeds the leader may not have the charismatic powers. So, in order to transmit the original message of the leader, some kind of organization develops. The original charisma gets transformed either into traditional authority or into rational legal authority. So Weber calls this process as routinization of charisma. So Weber used routinization to mean the transformation of charismatic leadership into institutionalized leadership, where one office takes place of a personality as the focus of authority. Now we will see rational legal. System of authority which is rational and legal. Okay, it is vested in a regular administrative staff who operate in accordance with a certain written rules and laws. Okay, those who exercise authority are appointed to do so on the basis of their they were appointed to do so on the basis of their achieved qualifications, which are prescribed or codified, right? The those in authority consider it in accordance with the laws of land, which people recognize and feel obliged to obey. Okay, rational legal authority is a typical feature of modern society. It is the reflection of the process of rationalization. Again, this is very important. So it is, according to Weber, a specific product of human thought and deliberation. Okay, so whatever I told you, it is summarized here. Okay, so just study from here only. Now let us see the criticism of this. See, said bureaucrats are influenced by caste and legal rational authority. So it is the coexistence of rational legal authority and traditional authority. J. Habermas. Legitimization crisis. Weber propounded three types of authority, and people work under different authority in different conditions. He blamed Weber, creating crisis of legitimacy. Power based on ascribed status in traditional society, power based on achieved status in modern society. It is different and contradictory and can't be explained on the basis of the legitimacy under authority. Weber criticized for incompatibility in ideal types of authority and social action, four types of social action, but uh, only three types of authority. Okay. Talcott Parson criticized Weber for zero-sum conceptualization of power. Power is generalized facility in society for realization of collective goals for which general public commitment is made. Okay. Then this zero sum conceptualization of power means uh, Weber said that in a social interaction, power remains always constant. It's a zero sum game. Either actor or alter will be the power. If A influences B, then power is constant with A. Okay, it's kind of that only. Criticized for specification of authority in particular situation. Robert Dahl, in particular situation, person can hold different type of authorities also. Okay, now we will see the bureaucracy. Hmm, okay. So bureaucracy is a medium through which rational legal authority is carried out. Okay, it is the organizational apparatus of the modern state, and the modern capitalist state is completely dependent on bureaucratic organization for its continued existence. Okay, bureaucratic setup developed, for example, in ancient Egypt, when the monarch needed a permanent army to ensure the supplies of armies and military equipment. So, according to Weber, these developments were the most important factor promoting the emergence of modern state in which expert official, based on the division of labor, is wholly separated from the ownership of its means of administration. Okay. So according to Weber, there would be a trend towards increasing bureaucratization in capitalist industries because bureaucracy has technical superiority over other forms of authority. Okay, here bureaucracy has the superiority over the other forms of authority because decision making is based on the rational laws, and functionaries are chosen on the basis of merit. Okay, and they are supposed to act with an attitude of formalistic personality. This is what it makes a great instrument of power. Although he was aware of the negative side of bureaucracy also, that it destroys creative freedom and any creative freedom because bureaucrats have to work in a rule-bound manner. Okay, it is quite visible in India also that so many times bureaucrats are not able to take appropriate actions because of rules. He says modern society has become like an iron cage which generates metaphysical pathos among bureaucrats. Officials in modern rational bureaucracies have little or no control over what they do, since rules and procedures of bureaucracies take on a you know rules and procedures of bureaucracy take on a life of their own, restricting activities and decision of those who work in them to function of the offices they fill. Now, Weber also made the ideal type of for bureaucracy. So, what was that? It's an acronym, what cash. I will explain each and every word. So, it's W is for return, O is for ownership separate, T is for training, C is for it is continuous, A is for appropriation by equipment, S is for specific sphere, and H is for hierarchy. Okay, now let us see this in detail. Okay, okay. So what is the ideal type of bureaucracy, right? Let us see this. According to Weber, it is a continuous organization of official functions bound by rules. Okay, a specific sphere of competence which involves a sphere of obligation to perform functions which have been marked off as a part of systemic division of labor. Okay. The provision of equipment with the necessary authority to carry out these functions, that the necessary means of compulsion are clearly defined and their use is subject to defined conditions. Then organization of offices follows principle of hierarchy. Okay. That is, each lower office is under the control and the supervision of higher one. There is a right of appeal and of statement of grievances from lower to higher. Okay. Rules which regulate the conduct of an office, maybe technical rules or norms or the specialized training is necessary. In the rational type, it is the matter of principle that the members of the administrative staff should be, completely separated from the ownership of means of production and administration. In rational type case, there is also complete absence of appropriation of his official position by incumbent, where the rights to an office exist, as in the case of judges, and recently an increasing proportion of officials, even of workers. So they do not normally serve the purpose of appropriation by official, but of securing the purely objective and independent character of the conduct of the office, so that it is oriented only in the relevant terms. Okay, so administrative acts, decisions, rules formulated. It's just, I guess it's done. Okay, so then after this, okay, so basically for Weber, the process of rationalization for which bureaucracy is the prime expression is basically irrational. It is ultimately aimless since it tends to destroy the traditional values that give meanings and purpose to life. Okay, then after this, we will see some critique. So, Merton criticized certain aspects of bureaucracy as dysfunctional. Bureaucracy complies with written rules, laws, but when the situation arises which is not covered under the laws, which is not covered in the laws, leads to inflexibility and timidity. Bureaucrats are not trained to innovate and incentivize. ये तो वेबर ने खुद ही बोल दिया था, इसलिए वो एंड में आके बोल देता that bureaucracy is aimless and all. Excess devotion to rules leads to displacement of goals. Bureaucracy is a formal organization emphasis on impersonality and bureaucratic procedure. It leads to friction between bureaucracy and people. Personal relation in bureaucracy is based on caste, ethnicity, religion, causes inefficiency, goal displacement, and conflict in society, which leads to informal structure and formal structure. Peter Blow, he studied Federal Enforcement Agency. He criticized Weber's overemphasis on formal structure. Both formal and informal are functional, depends upon the types of organization goals. Elvin Gardner, in his study of General Electricals, USA, okay, he found that informal social association, sense of belongingness to a group are more important factor than other organizational factor. Tom Burns and James Stocker, said bureaucracy is formal and rigid, termed as mechanistic, suitable for predictable, familiar, routine tasks, not suitable for rapidly changing technical commercial work situation in modern society. Robert Michael's theory, iron law of oligarchy, says that इनका जो work है, जो red pen से लिखा है, these are their work, says that the flow of power towards the top is inevitable part of increasingly bureaucratized world. Bureaucracy is sworn enemy of individual liberty, thus equates organization with oligarchy. Okay, so you can read this. Uh, just remember 3-4 criticism. That's the important one. So we are done with this. Next, we will start Talcott Parsons. Okay. So for more lectures, you can subscribe to our channel and you can join our Telegram channel too. And to have better command over the contemporary topics and to have a better sociological analysis, you can follow our blog also on WordPress. Okay, you will find so many things there which are useful. Okay, wait. So let me open the blog. So this is our blog. See, you will see, and yes, the notes of this, the one which I'm covering, Thinker Notes. You will find the PDF on our group. Okay, and climate change, in-depth analysis, formal informal work, and so many contemporary topics are covered. UCC, Manipur, ethnic conflict. So you can follow us. Thank you so much. Stay connected.